Assalamualaikum and welcome. Today I'm going to share you my storybook based on Dune, the graphic novel. Dune, the graphic novel by Frank Herbert, follows a young Paul Atreides as his noble family takes control of Arrakis, a harsh desert planet. Arrakis is the sole source of spice, a rare substance vital for space travel and human longevity, making it the center of deadly political and ecological power struggles. Without further ado, let's know about the theme of Dune. The theme is about the fall of privilege and growth. Paul, stripped of his royal titles and security, must shed his past identity to survive and rebuild himself. This story also talks about destiny and leadership. The story moves from tragedy and loss to the embrace of higher purpose larger than oneself. Now let's get to know the characters. First is Paul Atreides. He is the central protagonist who undergoes a dramatic transformation, evolving from a young, vulnerable noble heir into a hardened desert survivor who escaped his own destiny. Second, we have the Duke Leto Atreides, Paul's father and the noble ruler of House Atreides, whose falls at the hand of political enemies serve as the story's tragic turning point. Up next is Lady Jessica, Paul's mother, who flees into the wilderness with him and helps him navigate the danger of the desert. Next is the Harkonnen soldiers, the main antagonists of the story. They are the ruthless invaders who ambush House Atreides under cover of the night to reclaim power over the planet. And finally, we have the Freemen, the native inhabitants of Arrakis who adapt to the deep desert, becoming key allies and mentors to Paul. Let us move into the setting. Dune have two primary settings. First is the desert landscape. It is a harsh, lethal environment dominated by endless sand dunes, intense heat, and the burning twin sun. Second, we have the city of Arrakis, an ancient, heavily guarded stronghold that serves as the administrative seat of power on the planet. Moving forward is the plot. First, we have the arrival. House Atreides takes control of Arrakis, moving into the citadel of Arrakis to oversee spice production. Second, we have betrayal and fall. Harkonnen force launch a surprise night attack. Duke later falls and the noble house is completely shattered. Lastly, we have the plot transformation. Paul meets the Freemen, earns their trust, and steps into his role as a true leader of Arrakis under the rising sun. Now, let us jump into the story. Before power, before ancient bloodlines, and before cosmic empire, there is only Arrakis, a vast, unforgiving ocean of sand under the burning twin suns. To look on this landscape is to understand true insignificance. Nothing grows here that does not fight for every breath. Nothing lives here that does not learn to bleed for water. And yet, this barren wasteland is the single most valuable rock in this known universe. For buried beneath these burning dunes lies the spice village, the key to space travel, longevity, and ultimate power. Whoever controls the spice controls the star. But Arrakis has a rule other than human greed. The desert belongs to no one. Across the void of space, The new force arrived to claim stewardship over the Golden Hell, House Atreides. The vast royal frigate descended through the hazy atmosphere, casting a long, heavy shadow over the ancient stone city of Arrakeen. To the galaxy, this transition of power is a triumph, a grand political appointment granted by the Emperor himself. The heavy landing gear touches down upon the dust. The engines wind down into silence, but beneath the ceremonial dome and the proud banners of the green and black, an underlying tension hangs thick in the air. This city was built on ancient secret and political traps. Stepping out into the blinding glare of the desert sun, the noble leaders of House Atreides take their first breath to spice-laden air. Duke Leto, a man of unwavering honor and fierce devotion to his people. Lady Jessica, a master of secrets, bound by the secretive Dean Gesserit order. And beside them stands young Paul Atreides, a prince, standing on the razor's edge between boyhood and an uncertain future. Look upon it, Paul. It is a dangerous world, hostile and foreign, but it is our burden of we make it our hope, not with fear, but with strength. They stand before the towering facade of the Arrakeen Palace, unaware that the walls meant to protect them are already closing in. The trap springs under the cover of the moonlight. The quiet dark of the city is shadowed by a silent march of steel. Harkonnen forces, the bitter, brutal rivals of House Atreides, strike from the shadow. Aided by betrayal from within, they cut through the palace guards with ruthless, systematic execution. Move fast! Leave no survivors. Erase the House of Atreides from the history of Arrakis. Fire consumes the grand corridors. Explosion echoes across the stone plaza. In a matter of hours, what took generations of honor and noble sacrifice to build is reduced to ash and scream. At the heart of the storm stands the Duke, stripped of his guard, betrayed and poisoned. Leto Atreides faced his final seconds. The radiating impact of this single loss sent shockwave through the entire galaxy. The noble pillar has been broken. Paul, protect your mother. Keep the line alive. Survive. As his eyes close for the final time, the noble house shatters completely. The prince is left without a kingdom. The son is left without a father. Escaping the burning city, Paul and Lady Jessica are cast into the deep desert, stripped of royal silk, titles, and armies. Mother and son walk alone through an endless ocean of dust. The desert does not recognize you or ladies. Here, high-born status is nothing more than just extra weight to carry across the hot sand. I must not fear. Fear is a mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. Stay focused, Paul. As the silence of the dunes settles over them, Paul pauses, looking out into the vast, unknown expanse. My father is gone. My home is destroyed. But I will not let this be where our story ends. Then, the true master of Arrakis makes itself known. The sand beneath the bricks vibrates with a deep, rhythmic drumming. The earth finally ruptures as a titan of the deep sands erupted into the sky. A creature 100 meters long with 1,000 crystalline teeth. Shah, the sand will rule this world. It is the living incarnation of nature's absolute power. A reminder that human war and royal titles means nothing to the ancient force of the desert. Yet, human life endures even here. Out of the sand dunes, shadows begin to form. Robed figures emerge seamlessly from the earth itself. It is the freemen, the native masters of Arrakis, who have learned to live alongside the monsters. Who strangers? He walk like off-worlders. The desert shows no mercy to intruders who waste water. As the golden light of dawn breaks over the horizon, tension turns into understanding. The freeman elder steps forward, observing the young prince who survived the night. You walk without rhythm. You do not panic before the world. You carry the eyes of the deep desert. You belong here now. The boy who landed on Arrakis as a prince of Caladan is gone, buried beneath the sand along with his family's palace. Standing beneath the sun, Paul turns his face to the radiant light. He raises his arm, not in surrender to the harsh world, but in total acceptance of what he must become. My path didn't end in the ruins of Arrakis. My destiny begins right here, in the desert. No longer fleeing from tragedy, Paul steps into his new identity. He is no longer just a rival. He is the leader who will charge the fate of Arrakis forever. The end. Thank you for listening to my storybook. In my opinion, this story is very interesting and I hope you like it too. Thank you very much. Love you guys.